Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, for some reason, my other live wasn't coming on. So here we are today. Back. Excuse my messy hair. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay, everyone. But my other live wasn't coming on, so I do apologize. So sorry about that. Not supposed to happen that way. So I just over here now. Hi, everyone. Jacqueline, Susie, Missy, Jessie, Jennifer, April, Colleen, Lane, Nikki, Pandora, Christy, Amy, Robbie, Peanut, Daphne, Amanda. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all. I'm just going to get my notebook ready. I do apologize for the delay, everybody. Got the cold chills just now. Not sure why I'm hearing this name. I've never heard this name before. So we'll have to see where this goes because this could just be a random place or this could just be a person. I'm not sure yet. I've never heard anybody's name by this. So okay, hold on a minute. I'm getting a few names here. I gotta get some new notebooks. My notebooks are literally all filled with cases and readings, and I'm running short here. I know it wasn't working, so I just said, "Let me hurry up and get on here on a different chat." Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining. It's good to have everybody here. Sebastian's favorite color pen. I know I wished you a happy birthday on our Facebook, April. I don't know if it went through, but I did it actually before I got on here a while ago. So as you can see, I'm not doing the REM pod tonight, everybody. We're just going to do the ball. It's quieter. It's more quiet for us. So we're just going to do that, okay? Excuse my messiness. If I look messy, usually to do, okay? But it's chilly and it's cold here. So I'm thinking of my warmth, not the way I look. Happy birthday, April. You're getting a lot of birthday wishes, darling. Hi, Wanda. Angel, you finally made a live? I'm glad. D. White, hi. Tonya. Jamie, hi, everybody. Chloe, Jade. I know sometimes, these variations of the lives, it's like some people get I just don't get it. Some people get notified, some don't, and I don't understand why, because if you're hitting the notification bell, then you should never have a problem with it. But we're all here, so it's great. It's good to see everybody. Well, read your messages. Risa, you always got some. You must have that that group with you all the time. It's always I hear your name when I know you're on here because your name is mentioned. Is there a Linda on here? A Linda? Hello? Hi, True Beautiful Soul. How are you, Christy? Yeah, I can tell because it's like they're always popping in and putting your name out there to let you know they're always with you. Time out with Tish. Hi. Harley girl. Hi. Hello. Oh, excuse my nose. I've been, I don't know if you guys can tell. My skin today is, before I came here, is really bothered. Got really hot and under my eyes, very itchy, super itchy. And that only happens to me when Sebastian's around. Virgo, hi. It's got that energy field lately, Angela. I understand that. There's a lot of great movements in Sebastian Rogers' case. We won't be discussing him tonight because I feel like we can discuss him, but only in a manner to where it's not going to bring up anything personal for him. Got a lot of great things in movement in his case. So that is a phenomenal thing. Dog is doing great things for that case. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better person in his case, really. Making big moves. I've been depressed. It's the energy field, everybody. It's a change in the timing of the season, the weather, you know, people going back and forth to work, not seeing each other much. It's darker now a lot more. So when we lose that vitamin D from the sun, we really get a lot of states of depression, so to speak. Try to be out more in the day if possible to get more sunlight because you will feel less depressed in that way. The sunlight, the vitamin D really does play a huge part in your depression. Yeah, Sebastian's case is getting a lot of headway right now, and I'm really happy to hear that. Only good things are happening right now, so it's a good thing. We have to keep his name out in the media. Keep his name out in the media. Saying his name, putting his name out there, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I cannot wait until we get more information. I look beautiful tonight. Thank you so much. I don't I'm just I feel like a mess today. Thank you, Tina. Susie, Libby, and Abby. Huh. What do you all think about that? I don't agree with the guilty verdict. I have been saying it. The girls spoke of him not being the person that did that. I go by what they say no matter what. I don't agree with the findings of him being found guilty. I stick to it. And that's it. Miss Cool Molly is here. A lot of people are against him being convicted of it. So I would really say, did those girls really get the justice they deserved? I don't think so because they're killers. They're killers. I will say killers are still out there. And it's really terrible that this was the fall guy. What can I say? I don't feel in my heart, and neither do the girls had stated that he didn't do that. Um, can you guys do me a favor quickly? Yep, Ginger, that's right. I do believe that. I need you guys to do me a favor. This word Oakley keeps coming up. Oakley. That tells me this is either, for me, this is a person. Little child. I've never heard somebody by that name before. That's a unique name. Baby Oakley. So you know who that is, Susie? Good evening. I don't believe Keegan did anything to those girls, no. Susie, yes? Who's Oakley? It's a little child. I know that because that was mentioned. Oakley Carlson. I found Oakley Carlson 2 missing since 2021. My friend has a daughter named Oakley. She's 8. I don't know who this little child is. To me, this is coming from female side, so this would be a little girl. I'm going to say a little girl. Yes, Susie, yes. She's a little girl. Um, sorry, I'm hopping right in tonight like this. Usually I don't do that. Something about mom. Hid. Mom and hid. Aggie says, okay, Aggie, because mom hid. Hide. Yes, little Oakley, she was adorable with dark black hair, never found her body. I think she was from Washington State. Oakley hide. Cold. Huh. People are losing their freaking minds. I tell you, the way people have become spiritually and mentally, people have really lost themselves. And you're seeing more and more parents unaliving their children. It's really twisted and sick, and more and more people are getting away with it. That's the scary part about it. Parents were drug addicts and she disappeared. Christy RN. You can't something about this generation, this timing, um there's mass. So when there is constant chaos and constant anger and constant hate, constant, that gets to people spiritually and mentally. When you're in the constant chaotic battle with your mind, if you don't have your emotions in check and your feelings in check, you become strictly unbalanced with one or the other, and giving that sense of impurity to your body that way. You're being influenced spiritually by negative energy. You're being influenced by the TV. You're being in front of a phone all day. You become unsociable. You start to become numb. I try not to watch the news because it has nothing but violence, nothing but rage, nothing but pain, nothing but sadness. That can really dampen the mind, dampen the soul. Staying on the light, yeah. Um, this might sound a little selfish, but most people don't realize we aren't meant to fix the world. It's not our job to. We aren't meant to fix everything other than ourselves. We need to start within our own homes, within our own families. As much chaos is going in the world, I know, I understand that. But we are just one person. We are one soul, and we cannot fix everything and everyone. And with all the wars going on, where do you think all that comes from? Where do you think all of that chaos and pain and killing and murdering, all of that happens? It's a constant battle of spiritual. You can say good versus evil. You can say chaotic energy fields. It's a lot to deal with, and when we are so stuck in other countries and so stuck, but if we're not in our home and we become unbalanced, that's a hard thing to get yourself to understand. You have to worry about your family, yourself. You are one entity, you are one person. Yeah, people are literally losing their mind. It's like they're so in front of a TV, in front of a screen, in front of a phone, that even the littlest thing can make them explode. And that's the one thing that I think with this generation that you're going to see. You're going to see a lot more killing. You're going to see a lot more. You're going to see a lot more abuse. You're going to see a lot more sick, unhinged things in the news because we're becoming mentally numb. So it's it's a battle against our emotional and spiritual state. Most people are just put your kid in front of an iPad. What you don't realize what you're doing is 10 years down the road, your child is going to become, I don't want to say this in a mean way, but sociopathic tendencies because they're going to become emotionalists. They're not going to have disregard for feeling because they're not going to understand because they're so in front of a TV screen that a TV screen can't argue back with you. It can't understand how you feel. So when they explode and they become angry and they become mad, they're just gonna do things and just so they can get back to that iPad, that iTV, that TV, that phone, that iPhone. People don't understand the extent of what's happening to the children. Just that by themselves, they are creating our future, which is not good. Hello from North Carolina. Hi, darling. Hi, Linda. Linda, there you are. I wrote you down earlier in the live. Yes, April, very much so. People don't realize before you have a relationship with somebody and you have, kids, you should really get to know somebody, really get to know somebody. There's love bombing, there's narcissistic people. I don't think people understand how much a narcissist can really destroy a family and destroy a relationship. That not just destroys a relationship, it destroys future relationships, it destroys trust. Being with a narcissist can literally lower your vibration so low that it's a hard thing to get them back up. I know. I had to redo it all. I had a killer migraine yesterday, so I should have went on here yesterday and made sure everything was good. I do apologize. Ohio's in the house. Hi, Ohio. Honey, with every relationship, people grow apart. People go to the next level. Uh, it's that's a natural thing, but it's also unnatural to have toxicity all the time. You have to ask yourself: women are meant to be happy. We are supposed to be emotional beings. But when we are constantly in the survival mode because our other half is constantly causing toxic behavior or they carry toxic traits, you have to understand what that's doing to you spiritually. Yes, let's get back to Oakley. As you can see, this ghost ball is on here. I don't have the REM pod tonight. It was so loud. I'm going to tap the table just so you know. See how hard that is to go off? I have to really hit the table, okay? So if that sucker goes off back there, which it has been in the last few lives, just pay attention back there for me if you can, okay? Chloe, you got 3 symbols from the symbol journey, the journal. That's great. The last confirmation sight of Oakley was February 2021, but Oakley wasn't reported missing until months later in December after a fire damaged the family's home. She speaks about mom hide Oakley cold. So she spoke like she was a little child, like a little girl. So I'm not sure. Very small child. To me, she would be like little, maybe 3, 4. I get the vibe she's around that age. You're welcome, Chloe. Christy, let's see what Miss Christy said. I have 2 tumors. I am so sorry to hear that, Christy. Everybody here will make sure that they say, a prayer or send you healing energy. This is our group. This is what we do for people. You sent me a pic, Susie? Okay, hold on, honey. Oh, she is a toddler, Chloe Jade says. I have a friend request from Angel. Temperature is dropping. I can feel the cold from the floor rise up. I'm not sure who Oakley is. They're saying she is missing since 2021. But her name is being mentioned tonight. To me, she's a little girl, a little child. Hi, Emily. You're welcome, Christy. Yeah, around I assume through around 3 or 4 because she talks like my granddaughter, but they're around that age. It said that her bones were thrown in the Washington River. God, people are so sick. Dixie, good to have you. Yes, everybody send Christy some healing energy, some prayers, please. Whatever you do, you know. I'm freezing. This office, though, doesn't matter if it's summer. So when I do things like this, it doesn't matter. Um, I get freezing if it's summer, if it's winter, if it's fall. It does not matter for me. It starts from my feet and it moves up my body. Right now, the cold is from my feet to my kneecaps right now. It's going to move up to my hands and I'll have like a wet nose. 4 flying doves. Chris, it's 34 degrees in New York. Wow. Pixie, love and light to Christy. Yes, thank you everybody for sending Christy energy, love and light, prayers. Ohio, it's 40. Oh yeah. Let me look at this picture really quick of this Susie. Oh, she's a little thing. Her name is Oakley and she's from Oakville, Washington. Oh, unreal. Doesn't get any better. Virginia. Vicky says it's chilly in Virginia. Kentucky Mama. There you are, darling. I was worried for a minute. We can absolutely discuss Kim Porter, sure. That was one thing I was supposed to get done, but with everything going on, it didn't get to go through that night. I'm trying to make space here on my desk. Sorry. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, sweetie. I'm not sure why she's showing up tonight. I mean, and she's from Washington, it says. Was she the only child, though? Because I get the vibe she's with another child. This could maybe just be a passed on relative, or maybe um, the mom had miscarried or something like that, because this child is with another child, if that makes sense. No, she had a few siblings. Okay. I don't know. This child is with like I would say a little boy, to be, if I'm going to be personal about it. This, to me, this child is passed on, though. This isn't somebody that's alive. Amanda, friend request. I don't know if, because I'm new to this Oakley, um, this sweet little girl Oakley. Hello, Fifth Element. Okay. All right. Tonight, I would like to get in Miss Kim Porter, at least first, because I feel like she's been on the back burner, not intentionally. Um, I'm not sure, Chloe, but this little child is with someone, to me, that would be, I guess, would be related to her in some way. I don't see it as another missing persons child. To me, this is just poor nurturing, like maybe a lost child in the womb. Kelly T, any updates on Summer? I have not heard any updates on Summer. Um, I'd like to know why. I'd like to know more of why isn't, it's like everything is halted, everything stopped on Summer's part. Um, there has been a video floating around that was sent to me by several people. Um, that is not Summer Wells to me, no. You're welcome, Chloe. Also, I had about quite a few people talking about, you guys asked me about him on a live. Um, you agree too, Chloe? I don't. Is today, is this? Yes, it is, honey. Shelly T. Yes. Um, the gentleman you guys asked me about, if I thought if he committed suicide or if it was an accident fall. I guess Liam Payne, I think his name is. Um, people said the when I gave the information, I guess it was correct or something. Now, uh, for that also, I do feel there are other things that were going on with him. I don't feel he, like I said in the beginning, I don't feel he committed suicide. I do feel the fall was from intoxication. Um, and I also do believe he had something else going on internally, as in mentally. I think he was battling. Um, I really don't want to say this, but I do believe he was battling being assaulted. The industry is big with that. It's all coming out. But I do believe this would have been probably in his teenager years. No, Lane, I can't. I mean, I could try to get a number, but I mean, Dixie, I do believe that could be a possibility, but I'm not sure yet. I didn't even really work with his energy. I was just giving what came through as I was asked about it in a live. I am not too sure. Um, Hollywood is a very strange place. I know I would not want to be at a Hollywood party. Miss Lindsay, how are you, my love? What about Brooklyn Farthing? I reached out. I didn't reach out. I had several people reach out to the family and no one got back to me. There was another one. Um, the FBI was involved in her case. I forget which one it is. I think the boyfriend or husband's name was Hask. Um, that was another one I was going to do. Kelly T. Sloan Bella felt he had something blown in his face and then positioned to fall. I didn't get that. I won't ever say what someone else said. No. I'm doing good, honey. You went to a Diddy party before and you got weird vibes, Chloe Jade. Kim French. Shalom Bella is the bomb. She is exactly on. Yep, that's good. Mika Miller. Yes. Yeah, I don't get that he had anything blown in his face. I do believe it was intoxication that caused him to fall. Um, but I also do believe he was battling internally over things from his life going forward with things in his life, so to speak, abuse being one of them. But as you get older, I think it comes out in different ways where you become addicted to things. So okay, Mika's husband was a pastor. It was made to look like she unalived herself. Oh, okay. Yes, I did, Kim. Brandy Beat, she's actually one of the people I want to talk about tonight because I felt like it's been a long time since I had spoken about her because I never, I don't usually get that in a reading unless the person's alive. I don't believe Relisha is, I don't believe she's passed on. I do believe that came up as her being sold. And the strange part about that with Relisha's passing is not Relisha's passing, but the man that took her. I don't believe he killed himself. I do believe someone killed him and took her. But the Liam Payne, I do not, I do not believe it was suicide. No, You do, Brandy, as you guys think so too. I don't. When I did her session, I got a simple. It was an interaction with him more than anything. I didn't get anything on her except for when people are passed on with me, I will get multiple things. But with her energy, I only got, it was very small and basic, but I got more about the mother and then I got more about him. And it's very, very limited information about her. But I also felt in that way that she was never passed on. And I've only ever gotten that in another case. Um, there's been, I guess, plenty of times where people um, mistook her identity. They even had blood work done to prove that they weren't her. So, stay at home, mom detective. We can talk. Well, I'd like to talk about Kim Porter first tonight. I mean, I'm not sure what's going to come through, but as we all know, if we do a live, we'll see what comes through. And I think Oakley. Kind of different group here tonight. This Oakley child definitely has her presence here tonight. Hmm. Kim Porter. I said what I said. I'm not holding back. Denise, recently 5-year-old autistic son just found deceased. Your son, honey? No, the truth here. Hi. No, I haven't. I old McMary's journal. I have not. Um, that's why I wanted to do a session with her to see what comes through, just to see what she has to say. I do believe she should. Something did come through for her, my last live, something to do with her. It's kind of like she was showing me different levels, like DNA, the blood, the bones. Something in that specifically is more or less not okay, not right. Uh, um, Something about lied said she was sick. Mm, I mean, death charge case. Talking about lied, sick, pneumonia, death charge case. Yes, not yours. Okay. Right now, I'm getting into Kim Porter and seeing where this is going. Um, but she's definitely talking about lied, said she was sick, death charge case. Tammy, there you are. Sylvia, hi. How are you? Case. Release. Go. Bend. Law. Time. Check. I'm getting a bunch of stuff. Um, I'm assuming that she's referencing, I'm assuming that people were paid off in that way. She's talking about her last name, letting me know her. Porter, case, release, go, bend, law, time, check. She's also speaking about lied being sick. She's talking about like a lung disease, like pneumonia, or something to that nature of that supposedly caused her death. Charge, case, open mouth. What do you mean open mouth? Ingest. Sever, take, let go. Oh God. I don't know if I want to get on this right in front of everybody though. Um, this is a touchy thing for me. Um, I don't mean that towards you, Kim. I'm just, if we're going to bring all of this up, I don't know. I don't know if I should say that. Um, I know there's stuff everywhere about it, but to hear you say it, um, God, okay. Let me go down here. Oh, okay. Let me just before I read any of this, let me just let you know what she's saying. I don't get into usually in these high profile cases because they're everywhere, but at the same time, uh um okay, I'm just gonna say I'll just say what she says. But I just know that I don't like putting this out there because I feel like this is not my usual. I usually work with cases that don't have to do with anybody in Hollywood or things like that. Um, Kim's death, ballpark, many others. She's talking about her death was just one of them in the many of the ballpark. She's speaking of many other people were murdered in that way, but um, she doesn't call him that. She calls him by his name. And we all know who we're talking about. The person that's incarcerated right now. I will not put out names because I feel like legalities are everywhere right now on YouTube. So I want to be very careful here what I'm stating. But we're also talking about Tupac, and we're also talking about him being another victim. But for her to tell me that, I mean, that's always been speculated, I guess. But um, to hear her say that to me it's very outstanding. It's. I always felt that, but I always felt we're talking about Biggie Smalls next. Biggie left open, supposedly left open, so wide open, so he could just be killed. I will. She's also talked about open mouth, um, ingested, sever, take, let go. It's like she was saying to me, being held down and made to ingest something that would have severed her life. I don't mean her body in any way physically. I mean her being, her life, her soul. Excuse my eyes. I don't know what's going on with my eyes lately, but they've been terrible. Tammy, you know why. Biggie's sister said she knew was involved. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up with some of your messages first. Um, Christy RN. Yes, people say medical examiners on Diddy's payroll. Same diagnosis is a lot of other people supposed to died of pneumonia. I know. I don't think she died of pneumonia because she talks about lied of being sick. She wasn't sick. Um, Death charge in case. She speaks of her name, case release, go bend law some more, supposedly. She's speaking of the law was bent for him. Time to go check. Kim's death was a just one of the bigger ballpark of it all. Um, he's done a lot of things to people. Um, really just took out some big people, and two of them we know, three of them if you counting her three, and the two other I would say biggest rappers of a lot of people's time, Tupac and Biggie. But for some reason, I'm being told Biggie was purposely left wide open to be shot, to be killed. That was done purposely. Most people have bodyguards, but for some reason, and I don't mean left wide open as in an open space, but something at the timing of his death, he didn't have. Uh, yes, shot. Okay. Um, a lot of people don't realize Biggie's death was also done because he was becoming one of the most best rappers out there. He could rap just sitting in front of you and not even have to practice, and that wasn't liked too much. So supposedly, I really don't. I really don't know. Hold on 1 minute. Biggie Smalls. I call him Biggie Smalls. That's what I know him by. He talks about his daughter. Think about left. An ex-girlfriend Debbie Letty died of pneumonia. I'm not familiar with Kim Porter case. Brittany Murphy was dating Ashton Kutcher. They broke up. Ashton Kutcher did a party. Brittany and her husband was exposed to child trafficking. It's so much twisted stuff. Yeah, he did. He had natural talent. I'm not shocked at that because he was the closest to him, and no one can succeed except for, we'll say P and D. I mean, I guess you guys all know what I'm saying here. I don't want to give out too much. Yeah, I'd like to get into those too. For me, Whitney was also um, taken out in that way. yeah, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. Yes, Whitney and her daughter specifically. Yes, Whitney too. Her daughter, I believe, supposedly passed just like her mother, but that's no coincidence. I'm not shocked at all. If you understand the connections to him specifically, the circle of all everybody that surrounded him, you'd be surprised at everybody that was with him. And I know Whitney specifically was because the night of her passing, that was actually brought up about him specifically. The power that man had in Hollywood, you could never imagine. I mean, two of the biggest rappers of all time taken out. Poor Kim Porter, silenced. Her friend, she spoke about her friend in a live, like it was a short I did before. She spoke about her friend. I don't remember her name, but she spoke about her friend knowing. Um, what what was ingested? Was it ingested orally or was it was it like a shot? Because you're showing me one thing, but you're saying another with me. Orally, she took something orally, but not of her own will. Ren, someone asked me about him in the last live I did. I got that it wasn't suicide, it was just intoxication. Oh, okay. Her ex husband was also poisoned and in a coma for months, but he survived. I'll be sure he believes she was killed. Well, my question is how long does that stuff stay in the body? How long does it stay in the bone? Can it be proven that way? Kim, can it be proven that he did this to you? Can it be proven that you were injected or took something orally? She's showing me like I guess you would say book pages, but also like signature, but it was kind of like a doctored signature. It was like a paid off confession. What do you mean? Note. I assume that she's meaning forge signature. Something about sun. Too little to understand. Talks about her son being too little to understand. Shellbell, hello. Um, is there something that Kim, that's not in the media, that no one knows, that something that can help them reopen your case or get them to look and have your body exhumed? Well, well, okay. What would be there that they would have to look? Look at the feet, needle in the toe. But I thought you ingested something. I thought you took something orally. She's talking about something orally, but the injection slowed her heart rate down. I get you. She talks about Tammy, and this doesn't mean she was doing drugs. No, I don't mean it this way. I'm going to explain it in a way that I've seen with patients. Um, there's a way to hide drug use between the toes. You can spread the toe apart and inject heroin or morphine between the ducts of your feet. A lot of heroin addicts that are brand new to it are ashamed of it, and they will do that in between the toes to get their high. And it's just as effective for people, and sadly. Maybe. But when doing an autopsy, my question is, are they able to spread the toes apart and check for anything like that in between? I mean, a needle mark, though, is very hard to catch between a toe. So to me, that would make perfect sense. Look at the feet, needle, toe. I'm assuming she means there's a needle mark in between the toes. I didn't really understand it either, but when you work in healthcare, um, unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand. People don't want to do that kind of drug. They're ashamed of doing it. But when they become that full blown addict, they stop caring about themselves. They stop loving themselves. So they just don't care after a while. But the newly ones, they will do the in between the toes because they're ashamed. You have great veins in the feet. You have good active veins that you can pass things through. Um, Perfect example, you get dehydrated so bad, your veins shrink, and you can get an IV in the foot. If you cannot get it anywhere else, you can get it in the foot. All board members from 23andMe resigned the day he was arrested. Doesn't surprise me. Would that cause any bruising? It depends. It depends. If it's Kim Porter, beautiful, gorgeous skin between her toes, they might have not picked it up because the beautiful color of her tone of her skin. She was very, very beautiful. She was gorgeous. But if you have that kind of power, if you have that ability to make anything you want happen at the snap of a finger, I can understand why she says, look at the feet, needle, toe. Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Christy RN makes sense. I've seen a lot of babies getting IVs in feet because their veins are so small elsewhere. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, and that's sad. And we do have confirmation on Tupac, and we do have confirmation on Biggie from her. But she said what's worse about the Biggie part is he was left wide open. It was a setup. It was um he was supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time and left wide open to just be shot and killed that way. Yeah. Kelly T, we can ask her. I mean, we can still ask her questions. I mean, um I'm not really done with it yet. I just wanted to answer some of your questions. I didn't want you to feel like but I told you once I start speaking with her that I wouldn't be able to look at your questions anyway, okay? Because I want to keep focused on her, but we can go back with her. Um, Kim, honey, will hold on. I'm sorry. My skin is really bothered today. Um, can you give me a little bit more about your passing? Can you let me know about some things that nobody here would know about? That's not in the media. Not and someone said here that you wrote, I believe, a book. I mean, I could have misread it, but oh, tell all. Was this a tell all book? You are nothing to Diddy if you get in his way. Yeah, I can see. Susie, yes, yes. Okay. Can you give me something, sweetheart, that wasn't in that tell all book? Kimura. What about Kimura? She knows. Diddy. I didn't want to say his name. Reference. Um, she talks about a fire, him setting a fire. Where was the fire? Kimura's house was set fire? Check out this Kimura friend. Her house was set fire. Miss K, yes. Did he burn someone's car? Kim, what else would you like to say here tonight, sweetheart? You were released. Let go. I'm proud of you for saying that. She said she was released. She was let go. Nothing can hold her back. Tammy, yes, Kimura's house caught on fire, and she thanked the fire department for saving their lives. Mm-mm-mm. Do you have any other messages here tonight, Kim, that you would like to tell us? And what I would really like to hear, Kim, if there's any way possible, like the feet. The feet was a really great tribute to let people here know because that's probably not out anywhere. What about your son, honey? She talks about her son, how she would speak in his ear in his sleep. More, yeah, someone just said that. Um, Kim, you do know that he's in prison right now, waiting to be charged with a lot of different things, And what would you like to have done? What would you like to see happen? Charge. You want him fully charged. Go open case. Me. She wants her case reopened. She wants to have her body resumed. To look. DNA. You told me this the last time. Because she talks about blood, DNA, bones. If there was an independent, if her body was exhumed, and have an independent person do it, I wonder if they'd find something in the bones or the DNA, just from the teeth, the bone, the skeletal bone, the hair, because she talks about opening the case back up and exhuming her body. Her kids are refusing to exhume her for another autopsy. She only speaks about a son, though. Did she have more than just one son? Right, Bogey. I'm surprised that he didn't have her cremated. I'm really surprised. But you know what? That gives a sense of a power to him. That's a masculine. I did this. She is here because of me. She has no more power. She can't tell my secrets. That's more of a psychopathic trait. He kept her in the position she's in right now, which is buried, because he wanted power over her body. So they do have one son, because she didn't talk about any other kids. She spoke about one son. Tony, she only has one son, from what another person just said. I don't know. She talks about one son. I don't know what it is with the one son. Oh, are you saying you had a son from somebody else? Oh, sorry, guys. I got confused. She's talking about one son with someone else. Okay. Oh, see, now Sherry, uh, Cherry, excuse me. I just said that as I looked and see this now. She was speaking about having a child with somebody else. Oh, okay, Brandy. That makes sense, because oh, she had me confused. No, I assume she had one son, but she's talking about one son in specific. Yeah, makes sense. What about your one son? Did you have to say, because you do have other children from what people are saying? I got confused when you said one son. There's one son that she speaks with more than the others. I don't know if it's a thing that don't take this the wrong way, but she's more spiritually connected to this one for some reason. L. Before mine. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. I think that's what she's saying. Um, it's like she's showing me a more spiritual connection with him than the others, and it's not to be that she doesn't love the other ones. It's just for some reason she's more connected to this one, and she's, I guess you could say, worried about this one more so. But she talks about spiritually connected Al before mine. Oh, there's Al. That's what Al means. Al. Can you see him down there by my finger? Al. Is there anything that you'd like to tell the public here tonight? These are all people here. Kim, would you like to tell your friend? Would you like to talk to your children? Anything that you would like to tell them, I will tell them for you. This is where your story comes in. Okay, I'm going to ask you this because I'm going to. Who did that? Who shook up the vial? Who gave you the injection? Who took your life? Who was the second person? Because she's talking about she was held down, but she fought because she knew what was coming. I'm sorry, I'm missing some of your messages. I will get back to you, okay? Who was the second person, though, who held you down? Show. Blackmail. Okay. What's the name? What's his name? She's telling me a bodyguard of some sort. I mean, how many bodyguards did this guy have? I mean, I'm sure he had plenty. I'm going to ask this, Emily. There was talk about Diddy's sons being involved. Are they her sons? If so, are they truly involved? Was anybody in the family involved in your death, Kim? Did anybody help him in that way cover it up? I know you spoke about two. I understand that. One is P, the other is who? You said bodyguard. But was any of the other kids involved? Was any family members involved? Who's just one? She says two, but I'm assuming she means when she says just one. Are you talking about the children or are you talking about? Something about the back seat of the car. Kimura seen him leaving. I'm not sure what this means. Also something like Moki or Mookie. I could be saying it wrong. Um, she's talking about sex trafficking. P and D, which is, you know who in prison. I don't really, I'm not going to say his name. Arm and band. Seeking serenity. It could be because I could have just spelled it wrong, but it sounds like a nickname or something, I guess. I'm not too sure on that. I'm not going to say that name because I'm not trying to disappear, okay? I really don't feel comfortable with saying that on live. This goes up high to the point where it goes up so high that this person is in charge of food, distribution of food, vaccinations, you name it. This person is high that was just mentioned, high up in the ranks. Real high. Real high. I really don't want to say his name, okay? Because I know that there's big power there, and I don't want to get myself in trouble physically or go missing. I'm not going to say the name. I won't even give you a yes or no on your answers, guys. I'm being very serious about that. Needs to be. We have to be careful what we say here. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm just going to tell you no on Trump. No. And anybody else, I'm not going to answer on that. Please understand that I don't. No way. I know when. I know when not to say something here, and I'm not going to say it. Susie, Mookie Betts. Who is that? Because there's a Mookie on here being spoke of. See? I'm going to fold this over because I can't show you the other page because the name's on there. But the Mookie is right there under my finger. See it? Nope, it wasn't Trump, and I'm not going to say any more than that, please. I'm just going to say the daytime TV talk show host. There's a whole involvement in things when it comes to PD. Mookie like the freak out parties. Okay, I don't know who that is, but that name's on here. So 2. PD, just 1. Mookie Kimura, seen him leave. Don't know. I don't know who Mookie is. I'm not going to make the assumption that he's a baseball player. Mookie is a nickname a lot of people use, so it doesn't mean he is a baseball player. Aggie, the first one, I'm going to give you a high five on that. Ellen, I'm not sure of. I don't. Nana Kim, yeah. Just being careful on here because I'm not trying to go disappear. I have a family to take care of. And I'm going to be careful on that, okay? So if you understand, you understand, okay? Here's a mess. Okay. And when sex trafficking comes up and this person comes up, this goes up so high that I'm going to make this my own self prediction. This is not using my gift. This is just using my thought process. If Diddy gets to take the stand and he mentions this one high ranking person, you can bet that he's going to end up on the other side. No, I don't hear any growl noise. You might hear the chair. You might hear the chair, or you might hear the vehicles going by. If he talks, he's as good as passed on. I mean, this goes up so high that I won't even say the name. His name. It's a man. But it goes up so high. This goes up to politicians. This goes up to government officials. This goes up to high-ranking officials. This goes up to people that are in the pharmaceuticals and in the Food and Drug Administrations. This is deep. This is not something I will play with. I didn't get Obama, but I got somebody else. Epstein didn't kill himself, just so we all know this. That was not a suicide. Okay. We're going to close off this discussion because it's going to get too real and I don't want to mess up and mention something that I'm not supposed to. Okay. I want to move on. I don't want to put myself out there to the point where I'm not going to make it home to my son. And I trust and believe if they have access to our food, they have access to, and this sounds like conspiracy theory, nutty, bat crap, crazy stuff. Trust and believe it's not. And I will not put myself out there for that because I have a whole family to take care of and I will not put myself out there and put myself in danger. And I'm not talking from Diddy. I'm talking about from high-ranking things that I will not put out on the internet. It's not conspiracy theory crap. I can tell you this is real deal. You just have no idea who's in control of our facilities, our water, our food, our drugs, our you name it. We have no idea. And I can tell you, I don't want nothing to do with what I just heard. I'm going to drop this as fast as I heard it. But I can tell you, Kim was X'd out, taken out. And if they didn't look at her toes in between, I'm going to say, move. She said toe, but I understood her because I've seen this before. So I'm going to say spread the toes apart and look in between the big toe and the first toe. Or someplace that is so small, I would say check all in between the toes, specifically between the pinky toe and the big and the first toe. But that's all I'm going to say after this. Jennifer, I'm not going any further. As I stated, I will not put myself out there for that. But just know, we're dealing with some big time people, and I can't even believe how he would even get that far with these types of people. And I won't put myself out there or put my family in danger because I can tell you, it's nothing to play with. I will tell you, Kim Porter spoke about Biggie Smalls purposely being left out in the open to be killed. Tupac, first, she mentioned him first and foremost, the first one after her, but she said there's many more in his ballpark. You have a suspect for Libby and Abby. I will not talk about Sebastian on here. I do work with him quietly with a person, and I cannot mention what I talk about with that person. Because this is a live, this isn't members only. The Proudfoot weirdos always pop on and run their mouth, and let's just say, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he got into some things, and they were offered help, and they said no, they don't want the help. Dog the Bounty Hunter is doing so much good for Sebastian Rogers' case. I can't even tell you how happy I am, proud of that I am, no matter the outcome. I'm just going to speak more on a positive note from it from now on. I won't say the harsh of it, if you all get what I'm trying to say here. I am so happy that he has joined the Sebastian Rogers train. I ecstatic. I mean, my son, because I think of Sebastian, he's 17. He's autistic. He goes, Mommy, did you ever find that boy you were looking for? I mean, my little granddaughters asked for Sebastian. That's how much of an importance that young man is to everybody. I mean, to people that never met him, to children. Um, let's go to the next. I want to drop the. I didn't think I was going to hear all of what I heard, and I'm not going to. I just won't repeat what I heard. So I want to move on from that quickly. I don't want to keep being asked about who it is here. So please refrain from any, because I will not answer you when it comes to what name I heard, and I won't repeat that for safety reasons. I have so much respect for Doug the Bounty Hunter. I think he is a phenomenal person helping Seth. Seth needs so much help. You could just see the brokenness in his soul, and I feel for him so much. So much. But when you're dealing with a missing child and you're not getting help from the police, perfect example, I had somebody send me another YouTube video from another YouTuber, and Seth, how many of you knew Seth was only shown the Texas Roadhouse video from the outside of Texas Roadhouse, not the inside? Why didn't the police show him the inside of Texas Roadhouse video? That boggles my mind. Why did you hide that from him? Why didn't you show him that? I don't get why they didn't give him that sense of peace of mind. And that's all they gave him. Another part of that video showed something about Sebastian eating a pork chop. Specifically, I will say a pork chop, but it doesn't mean it was. But Sebastian told me he was eating fish. I don't think the picture that they put up there is a real picture of Sebastian on that day, because Sebastian said he was eating stinky fish. So, Tonya, to that, I don't think that that's accurate, because he told me he ate fish himself. So, I don't think that that picture that is being shown by her is an accurate picture of that timing of events. No, CPS did not bring up the abuse because CP has family in CPS. To be exact, I believe it was a cousin. And that's why there was no reports to the father to hide it. That's how they got to hide it. No, you're not late, Laura. Okay. I keep hearing Oakley. Oakley. Seth has a lot of grounds there. He has a lot of grounds for not just suing, but for this could go so far legally. His boy could have, I'm not even going to say anymore, because I want this to be more of a positive outnote, not what you all really already know. And I don't really want to keep saying it, because if he sees the video, I don't want him to be upset over it. For sure, yes. He can get them prosecuted, yes. Oh, I believe so, Bogey. The truth will come out. I mean, when they say there's digital footprint of somebody, and then the Oregon thing of whatever that is, for me, that's interesting. Working with Sebastian on the down low, there's many reasons why I say that's interesting. And that's all I'll leave it at. But I'm not going to go any more about the Diddy thing. I don't need anything else coming up about that here, as I've already prior stated. Tammy, yepper, you understand? Now, let's move on to Strawberries and Peaches 12. Please ask about Noel Rodriguez Alvarez, 6-year-old boy missing from Everman, Texas. Oakley is I will just a moment for you, Strawberries. I want to get to Oakley first, because I feel like, being that she's been coming through the whole live, excuse me, my eyes are like super gross, Tammy, since last night, the other night. My eyes have been constantly, I don't know if you guys can see it. Do you see that? It's an agitation under my eyelids. Oakley, it started off as a little, I call them a little person, because when they're around that age, I call them the little people, because they're so cute, and they're very interested in that age when they come to me. Well, that was my question. A lot of people say I thought Oakley at first was a person or a place that was just coming through. But when I heard Oakley, and then I felt a little child presence with me. But to me, on the female side, people say there is an Oakley missing. Oakley, I got the picture of her someone sent to me. Just a cute little child, a beautiful little girl. Parents, she went missing. Parents didn't list her as missing 2 months later. Um, they were addicts. I would like to get more information from her at this point. This is why I'm trying to move forward with it. Bogey, did we talk about Anne last time that I spoke with you as well? So Anne, I'm going to mention Anne to you because I heard a name Anne. And under your name is Anne. Also, Susie's name came through. So we're just going to leave that there for now. So, Miss Oakley, sweetheart, what is your message today? You talked about being cold. You said Oakley's cold. You want to can you tell me who the little boy is with you as well? Because you're with another child, but to me he's probably younger than you. To me he's around between 1 and 2, or if that. Who's the little boy with you? Who's the little boy with you, Oakley? She brought him so he's safe. Well, that was very nice of you. Do you know who he is, Oakley? Did you? When you say pain, are you talking about yourself, honey, or are you talking about the little boy you brought with you? I know, sweetheart. Oakley, do you know? Oakley, do you know what happened to you? Can you tell me what happened, or do you remember what happened? Mom hit me hard. Mom hit you hard. Charge. If anyone can help Oakley give me messages from her side of her family, please do so. But nobody other than Oakley or Oakley's family that loves her can help her and come through. If you are not from a loving place, do not come. You are not welcome. Oakley's family, if you love her and you're crossed over, please help her get to the other side safely. Change what? What is Oakley's last name? Um, Did you know your full last name, sweetheart? She says, my name is Oakley, Carl. But she's going, it's bigger. She's talking about her last name, but she's saying her last name is bigger. Oh, it's right there. Okay. I'm not looking at the screen here. Okay, so I think this is what we're talking about, because as you can see, I have the hyphen here. She's talking about Carl, and then the little hyphen there. She's talking about her last name is Carl, but it's bigger. Like you can hear her say, it's bigger. Oakley, can you Oakley? I heard your name. I heard your name last week too. Why didn't you say anything last week, honey? You were scared? Why were you scared? I would never give you a reason to be scared of me. Your mommy can't come get you. She can't hurt you anymore, honey. Can you tell me where that is? You are brave. She said, I was scared, but I was brave. Oakley, do you know what happened to you, honey? Can you tell me what happened to you, sweetheart? Can you give me some insight or understanding what you know? Hmm. She said, I'm a big girl now. Oakley, do you understand, honey, what has happened? She said, my mom won't bring me home. Miss K, when they pass, their I don't ever add on an age um, when they pass that way. I keep, to me, they're the age they were when they passed. Um, what do you mean, mom won't bring you home? Tawana, she is alive. She's not passed. Oakley, what do you know, honey, about what happened to you, sweetie? Do you understand what happened? Mm. Why couldn't they just let me go? They were so mean. She said they were so mean, but I was brave. Oakley, do you know what happened to mom's house? Aggie wants to know. There's a person named Aggie would like to know who started the fire on the couch. It wasn't her. She says it wasn't me. Something about left. Can I ask you something, honey? Did mommy leave you in the house when the house was burning on fire? Do you understand that? For Oakley, if she doesn't understand me, I would like a loved one only from her lineage line to step in because these questions might be hard for her to understand. She was just a child. Because I know she was never found. But I also hear didn't make it out. Aggie right, because she says it wasn't me. She says it wasn't me. Oakley, honey, or somebody from Oakley's family. But I need only someone from her lineage line. I cannot have anybody else stepping in the reading because they'll piggyback and they'll want to get into the reading, so to speak. Can you please tell me if Oakley made it out when the house was on fire? Oakley never left. For the fire, Oakley never left. Was this house burnt down to the complete ground? I don't know. What do you mean Oakley never left? Fire, okay. Was she in the fire? No. So what are you referencing then? What do you mean Oakley never left? They're talking about before. Oh, Susie, that makes sense. Because I just said, well, what do you mean Oakley never left? Before. Makes sense. Because talking about the fire, I asked about the fire, but Oakley never left. She spoke of before. Makes perfect sense to me. Okay. Now, I have some harder questions for you, Oakley, and if you can't answer them, sweetheart, I completely understand. You are a very brave little girl. But she also speaks of mommy hit me hard. Mommy hit me hard. This is what broke my heart right now, right here. Mommy hit me hard. I prefer to ask a more older energy in her lineage line about these questions because I feel like some of these questions are hard for her to answer. She doesn't understand. If she can answer them, that's fine. But I really have a hard time asking a little child this. Oakley, when mommy hit you really hard, was that the last thing that you remember? Oakley, do you know where you are right now? Let me ask you again. If you understand, I understand what you're saying, sweetie. I would like to know, do you know, how can I ask you this, sweetie? You're just a little child. Can I have an adult with me for a moment, please? One of her relatives that loved her. Only a person of love. And this is a female. So this is a female lineage line energy. I need to know more about Oakley's whereabouts. I need to know if I can get direction where she may be, who to contact, how to help her find her. The mother knows, okay, knows where she is. Well, I think we understood that. What happened that brought her to her passing? Abuse. You know, um, let's catch up on here. I'm not under. I don't know the the family, the case. She speaks more about the mother being abusive. I haven't heard anything on the father just yet, but the mother seems to have really been abusive in a matter. Hmm. I want it out. Left. Brave. Oh, okay. Ay, ay, ay. I want it out. Left. Brave. Mommy found me. Gave me a whooping. Hurt me. Fell asleep. I'm not sure on the case. I'm not sure if she's saying her mother abused her till she was unconscious, or when you fell asleep, do you remember waking back up? What do you mean? Mommies aren't supposed to hurt their children, honey, and their daddies aren't either. They're supposed to love you and take care of you and just be your everything to keep you safe. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's not supposed to hurt. It's not supposed, you're only supposed to be loved. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to, mommy was mean. She references her mother a whole lot. What do you mean? What are you showing me, honey? She's showing me, she's showing herself in like a dress almost. Um, I don't know where she's from, but just what she had on didn't fit the timing. You know what I mean? It wasn't proper clothing, I guess you could say. If it's in the winter, you don't go putting a dress on your child. It's cold. I saw her bare legs, and it's like a denim looking thing, but it wasn't denim. You ever see fabric that looks like denim but it's not denim? CPS returned her to her mother only 2 months before she disappeared. Right, it wasn't seasonally appropriate. Right, just didn't fit the timing of the year, if that makes sense. It's like she didn't care to, don't dress like that, sweetie. It's too cold right now. Go get some warmer clothes on. I wanted to go to school. Is there something that I can help you with, sweetheart? Is there something that I can do for you? She wants people to know that she was brave and she did not start a fire. She said, I didn't do it and they blamed me. You know what? I got to say, excuse me for saying this, but this, and maybe I won't say that because with her present, I don't want to talk like that in front of her. This enrages me that in passing, she would, her one worry would be, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't me to blame. I didn't start the fire. Because she's saying I didn't do it. I didn't start the fire. She's talking about a male. Oakley, you did nothing wrong. You are just a child. You are a brave little girl. And I'm very proud of you for saying and coming here today and telling me, okay? Oakley, do you know? Oakley, do you understand what happened to you? Do you understand that where you are? Do you understand that I don't really, I have a hard time expressing this to children because they don't have the capacity to understand, especially if they're haven't crossed over yet. Oakley, you are a very special little girl. I am proud of you for being so brave, and you don't have to worry about anybody hurting you ever again, okay? Because nobody can hurt you anymore. I am very proud of you. I'm glad you came and I'm glad you spoke to me. You did nothing wrong. Mommy and your daddy should have been there to protect you. They are the ones who should have been there for you. They are the ones that should have kept you safe. I can't tell you why mommy didn't keep you safe and be the be the mommy you needed her to be. Because some mommy and daddies are just like that and they're so mean. And so I can get you to understand you are so precious. You are so loved. Unfortunately, sometimes parents can be really bad people, but that doesn't mean that you're not loved. And who can Oakley, who was the little boy you're with? I asked you and you didn't tell me. It's that. It's like she said, I brought him with me to keep him safe. But what are you keeping him safe from? I don't understand. Oakley, I assumed he was somebody from your family because your your energy kind of oh, I understand. I was just gonna say your energy matches his. That's why you're keeping him safe. She said his mommy hurt him too. She brought him with her. You are just a sweet, sweet little girl. And you deserve so much, sweetheart. Oakley, would you like anything else to say tonight? Honey, do you understand? She said, how do I get home? Okay, so when you tell me that, okay? When you tell me that, do you understand, sweetheart, that you're technically not. I have to say something to you, honey, and you might either not understand it or you might feel upset. And I have to be honest with you, but I have to tell you to understand, okay? And I don't mean this to make you upset. Do you understand, honey, that you no longer, no matter what I say to you, sweetie, I don't know if you're going to understand this, okay? You no longer have the ability to be here anymore, okay? Physically, like me, how I have a body, okay? And I mean this with absolute love. I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want you to feel that you have to stay here because when you go to the other place, which is a very beautiful place, there is love there. There is peace there. There is happiness there. Would you like to go there? Yes, he can come too. Yes, absolutely. He can go with you. You won't be alone, sweetheart. It'll be okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. I've been there before. It's really nice. This is so hard. Yes, it's a very pretty place. Very pretty place. If I get someone to take you there, would you go with them? It'll be okay, I promise. I want you to look around you and I want you to think about a happy, happy, happy place with a door. Okay? The happiest place ever. The happiest place you want to be. I want you to see a door. Okay? And if you can't follow my direction, that's okay. I can have someone come to get you. Okay? Kind of like seeing an old friend, but someone that could be from your family. I gotta be careful how I say this because she doesn't have good memory of her family. So there are people that love us in the place that I'm talking about. Would you like to try to go over through the door with the little boy together, or would you like me to have someone help you go over? They can carry you over, sure. Absolutely. No, honey. Mama can't take you there. So I will have someone very special come and get you, and they can carry you and the little boy over. It's a very pretty place. It's warm, it's bright, it's loving. You'll feel so much love, okay? But I need you to do one thing for me because you're so brave. I need you to go to the door. Do you see that door where there's all of that beautiful light coming out of the door? That's the door I want you to go to. And there's going to be a woman waiting there for you. She's very pretty. She has a long, long gown on. She has gray hair. She has pretty gray hair, like white hair. She's really tall. I can see her. She's waiting for you. She's someone that knows you. I want you to go with her because you can trust her, okay? She's going to take you over to the warm, bright, beautiful place. Goodbye, sweetie. You can take him with you. Yes. You're safe. I promise you. Okay, goodbye. Hmm. That sweet little girl. And in the midst of all of what just happened, that should tell you the amount of love children have for their parents, how the ability that they can forgive even when they were abused. She asked for her mother. She asked for her mother to take her over. You know, this doesn't get any easier and it gets harder and harder for me when it has to do with children. And whoever this little boy is, she spoke of, she wanted to keep him safe too. And I said, well, he matches your energy. But then it hit me. She spoke of his mommy hurt him too. I didn't even get that far, Dixie. I just needed to get, she didn't understand. She's didn't even cross over. And her fear was she safe? Can mommy come take me? And I told her, mommy can't come take you. I always, I always, when you guys hear me speak about the door in my readings, it's the easiest way because when I connect with energy, I connect mentally with energy. So when I do so, I will envision a door with them so they can understand that the door is a safe place. It's a safe place that you're going to enter through to go to the other place. Or if it's a child, I try to get them to understand that they're safe. Um, I usually work with energies. For some reason, this girl, um, she asked for her mother even now. I wanted someone for her lineage line to come get her. But the woman at the door, she showed me herself very clearly. She was very tall. She had silver, short gray hair. She had this beautiful gown on, beautiful white gown on, and behind her was the beautiful light emanating through the doorway. And she, the little girl said, Oakley said, "Can she carry me? Can she carry us?" She was afraid to walk through the door. So she wanted it. She wanted it to be something that made her feel safe, and to go through that door being carried meant she was safe because she didn't want to walk through the door with the little boy. How do you understand what your angels or guides are if you're never taught, or if you're um, if you don't understand the capacity? Sometimes you just need a little help. Thank you, Ginger. There was a little boy from Oregon murdered by his mother recently. The feeling that I got from this little child is she he, is older than him. He would be very small, smaller than her, very in height. Um, Trying to understand what the doorway is for a child is what's beyond that door. How do I know I'm okay? How do I know I'm safe? She was protecting him, yes. This isn't, I do this regularly with energies if they haven't crossed. It's something I learned to do at a very young age. My nephew, excuse me, when energy is, you all know what happens to me. Not Michael Monkey Von because Brandy didn't hurt him. He was taken by his. No, this isn't who that is. This is just a random child she encountered. I mean, she came to me, and her biggest fear is being blamed, about a fire that she didn't do. I just want, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't my fault. But she also didn't understand that she was passed on. So that was another hard thing. How do you tell a little child that you don't have a body or you're passed on? That part is hard. Why would a human have to help them cross over? Do you understand human is connected to spirit? The subconscious mind is a very powerful thing. You are connected directly to spirit. I don't think people understand how close you are to spirit, how close you are to family, how close you are to your angels, your guides, or if you're not aware of that. I mean, how many people have no idea? Some people don't cross right over. My father took years to cross over. A little child isn't going to understand, especially if, from what I've looked at, she's been locked under a stairwell. She was abused by her mother. She has no idea who God is or the creation or whatever was believed in. it varies. It's a really hard thing to grasp and understand. It's unfortunate, but the easiest way for me to help a child or anybody, I found the easiest way is to understand that you have the ability to just open that door. On the other side, there is peace, there is light. Because a lot of conflict in spirit is, I don't know how to get there. If you explain it to them and make them understand, it is as simple as opening a door. When you have a child, you try to ask them to go to a familiar place, a familiar door, or a favorite thing, a favorite, just anything there they have the favorites of, like the movies, a toy, but the park or I have people that devout Catholics, they cross over. I had one lady, she spoke of not really knowing how to cross over. She was afraid. And I spoke to her, well, in life, you spoke of a church and love going to church with your family. I'm going to show what I did was I pictured a church for her and I told her to open the church door. And I told her that light is there for her. Go through that door. And she left as easy as one, two, three. My nephew had a little girl in his house when he bought it was brand new property for him. He was first home. Um, and that could be Ginger. That could be the reason why she asked to be carried. Um, I think that was a big part of it. My nephew asked me to come bless his house, to walk through it, to see what was going on. My granddaughter actually first saw the little girl hiding in a closet, and I picked up that she was badly abused there, and her energy was stuck there. She was very afraid. The person that hurt her there was both physically and sexually abusive to her, and she felt stuck there. I found her in the basement, and I actually helped her in the same manner, in the same way. I help everybody that way because it's the easiest way for them to understand. How do we travel? How do we get from one place to another? We have to open doors to get there, correct? So it's the easiest way for people to understand how to get from one place to the next. Very simple, very subjective mentally, even physical or spirit, because they understood what any child can understand. Oh, the door is right there. Go to the door. It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? A child knows what a door is. They might not understand what's happening, but they know what a door is. But to be carried, to ask to be carried, that for me was wow. She was, and she wanted her mother to do it, and I told her her mother couldn't, and it's unfortunate. It's an unfortunate thing. Wow. And it just doesn't get old for me in that way. I always feel a sense of, I don't want to say a sense of burden, but I also feel like just why on things? Why do people do the things that they do to hurt babies or people in general? And then the sense of feeling wonderful after I help them cross over is a beautiful thing. Always subjectively give them something that they are familiar with, and the door is the easiest way. If you get technical with it, you could say, well, here's a key, go unlock the door. And envisioning a key in a door is too much for a child. A door is very, very, very simple. Tonya, welcome. But to be carried, and she made sure, can you please carry me and the little, more or less the little boy she talked about. That was really great because she's, even in death, she's looking after someone's child, and she talks about, I'm brave, and she knows she's brave. That's the thing. She knows, she knows to a certain extent, but I wanted her to understand that she didn't have a physical body, and that's a really hard thing to tell a child because they can either understand it or they don't understand it at all. Hi, Ash. How are you? Okay. Um, I'm moving on here. I want to go to the next. It's really it's not an easy thing to do. It just listening to me talking is on your end. You're seeing me talk, but if you saw what I was doing, if you could picture what I was doing, and trying to see this little girl through a doorway. She has no idea, what's going to happen on the other side. She's trusting me. I'm promising her, you know, it's a very hard thing to do. It's coaching a child to trust me and go to the other place. Thank you, Miss K. Thank you, Laura. Excuse me, my lips are very chapped. Sorry. Um, okay, I did see. Hi, Bubbly Beth. It's good to see you, honey. That's okay. Yes, you can see your guy. That's a rough thing to do an adult is more you can be more persuasive excuse me with an adult because they understand in life they understand what doorways are, but in her objective reality she had, the doorway was the dangerous place. It was the place of her fears. It was the place of her, you know her last times. Can you just imagine what she's seeing under the stairs? It's not something that you can just lightly take in and say, I'm going to trust this lady telling me to walk through this door. In life, I was made to stay under the stairway. You have to be very you have to be very careful how you word things to children, especially the children that were abused. Have you worked with Maddie anymore about leaving? Which Maddie? Because there's another one I want to discuss tonight, and Maddie Soto. To do so is it's not easy, but when you do it for so many years, to persuade an energy to cross over, it's very time consuming. So I to do it on here is very difficult because I have to keep my emotions in check for this little girl and this little boy. I can't cry. I almost did. I almost got, but I caught myself because when she asked for her mother, the one person that was supposed to keep her safe, even though her mother hurt her and things that she did, she still asked for her mother. Because children, even abused, will still look at their parents with love, fear as well, but they still forgive. And that's what pissed me off. When she asked for her mother, I knew, God, you just don't understand, do you, sweetheart? I always tell people we are born with two guides, whether, and that's another thing. When you start off young and you're not aware and you don't understand, this is why, her not understanding comes into play. There's, you said it, so much unconditional love in children. They don't understand mommy and daddy did them wrong or hurt them or oh Ren, you are so sweet. Thank you. We are all born with guides. I like to say numerous ones. I have female and male. This can also be your lineage line. Guides can be come back as your family members, or just someone that was just assigned to you in so many words. Female activity tonight is off the charts. No, they don't stop loving their parents. It's terrible. I don't know how you could. Susie says she had a loving foster family that wanted to adopt her. CPS took her and then she disappeared. I don't know. I have my own theories about CPS as well because that's also linked um, to prior what we were speaking about earlier. So, um, yeah, I'm being told the name again. I won't repeat it. So we're not gonna. I'm just gonna cut that combo off. Okay. Any questions for me? Because I'm gonna. I mean, I'm staying on here till 12:30. I'm not getting off till 12:30. So we have almost a whole another hour. I just, with my throat acting up, I have to be careful of my camera keeps refocusing. Can we talk about Abby and Libby? Is that what you're asking, Susie? Because if that's what you're asking, we can, sure. Yes, sure, we can talk about them. As I stated, I think there's been a horrible injustice to them because he did not kill those girls. Even though he was convicted, he did not kill those two girls. Dixie, I always wondered if we are passing away. It's really confusing to children because when they don't understand that the ability is there, they might automatically, that part of them automatically might shut off because the distrust is already there for abused children. They don't have the understanding. I've never met this person, this soul that's here waiting for me, or do they show up until the children are ready? There's so many aspects to it being confusing and it could scare them. Remember, a child ripped from this life probably doesn't honestly know that they've gone, or they do, and they don't. Some of them really just don't understand how to get to the other place. It just takes a little nudge, a little help. Ginger, can we find out who our spirit guides are? You can meet your spirit guides through meditation, your dreams. Um, I always like to say, you ever see the little angel and little devil on your shoulder? What people don't know is when you hear those, and you have to understand, spirit guides are very eccentric. You're not going to have, um, you're not going to have guides that are all love and light and you know be very gracious. You're going to have ones that are very funny. You're going to have ones that are smart asses. You're going to have ones that are so beautifully equipped to be aligned with you that everything is wonderful. I have a little bit of all. Um, I have ones that are very eccentric. I have ones that are very, it differs. It's kind of like having a background TV on, and it's like I guess you could say, TV show that you tune into sometimes, and they'll give you information. They'll tell you, you're not fat. They'll give you that advice. Stop looking in the mirror. You're not fat. Just, they give you that, love yourself. And then there's ones that are just like, you know, don't be such a jerk today. They're very, very either outpouring with information or very eccentric. It's very, very open, suggestive to your higher consciousness. Bogey, Dixie, I wonder that. So where are we, Dixie? Are all here in a line? What about the missing man from South Carolina? He is a Broadway dancer. Celia Williams. I'm not sure who that is. Tony, I've heard um, I've heard some grow older, some don't. It's a very strange thing. I think also the subconscious mind shows you in a way that they want you to communicate. So when I do a reading, perfect example, a mom came to me, she had everything from spirit that came to me and given me all these messages, but there was something missing. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I see miscarriages from people, that babies that are wrapped up and swaddled in a blanket. Now, blue for boy, pink for girl. When I see them swaddled and I don't see their face, I know that that's a miscarriage. That's my symbol from spirit. That's a miscarriage. And when that happens, um, I'll also see family that is crossed over to pick up the child, so to speak. And that's how I know in a reading if a miscarriage has occurred. The child might not have walked the physical world, but they're in spirit, they're in your connection, they're in your DNA markers, your DNA line. They forever will be part of your spirit. So to me, I see miscarriages still really small, but say a child per se, um, they'll talk about things that they wanted to do later on in life, or they symbolize a picture of what they might look like. I've never um, I've never really seen an older child when they've passed younger, but I have heard them tell me, um, I would have looked like this person or that person. It's very unique how they show you things. Let's see, where am I? Let's see. Can go back. Sarah, don't we get to see Jesus? I want to be with Jesus, but I also feel like when you pass, and my dad passed, and it's the only time I really get to be with him alone. What do you mean? Um, sorry. Um, so I cannot give you experiences, excuse me, of Jesus. I have seen things um on the other side, so to speak. I have had energies talk about angels and God and all those things. I have um, I have seen things that give me the understanding that there is more on the other side. Um, I have seen a whole lot, and I guess I cannot deny the fact that things do exist on the other side. When I had my son, I was gone for probably about a good minute, maybe not that long. But what I've seen and felt, I can only give you my personal experience. I can't say um, that experience is for someone who's actually experienced it. What I experienced is I had a contraction that was to the top notch. I mean, the contraction was so long it basically took my life for a minute. For 10 minutes, I had a contraction. It put me it put me over the top. My son's heartbeat went down to zero quickly. I just remember getting severe pain, and out of nowhere, I closed my eyes. I heard my husband saying, and the nurse saying, "Get the doctor." And I remember just closing my eyes, and I just felt nothing. I felt no pain, no sadness, no worry, no judgment. I just know it was like I was not even in physical form. I felt like I was part of a consciousness, a light, and it was so breathtakingly beautiful that I just, what was I going to go back for? What was I going to go back for? I was at such peace. But then I knew why, because my son was special needs, and I knew he would have needed. Um, I mean, I didn't know he was going to be special needs when I was there, but I knew that's why I was brought back. And there's no such thing as time. Absolutely, you're right, Edmund, because I've heard plenty of energies tell me there's no such thing as time over there. I do, I do believe in that. I do believe that there's no such thing as time over there. Let me go back. Miscarriage. Yes, I have had several miscarriages, Kentucky Mama, and they are not easy to overcome because always wonder, you always wonder, what would that child have looked like? You know, what if? There's always that what if, what if, what if. My throat is seriously bothering me right now. Let me see. I'm trying to catch up on your messages here. Miss Kay, I understand that when you talk about that because it's like as soon as you leave, the pain is like the hardest part here, honestly, is the pain that you live every day. You know, seeing suffering or losing the love of your life or your children or everything and anything is painful here. But over there, it's like you once you get there, you don't want to come back. Once you're aware of the consciousness that you're part of because there's no judgment. There's everything in that specific part of it. There is just love. And I couldn't believe I can still remember it like it was yesterday and it happened 18 years ago. I just felt such beauty and just a part of something that I can't even explain. I can't explain it to you except for the feeling that was so beautiful. I can't get past that. I'm telling you, that is a really hard thing, a really hard thing. And just understand that they are still with you. They are still with you in that way. They are still with you. They haven't left you. They might have not been able to walk physically here, but they're connected with you. And I'm not sure if you understand this or if you can even validate this, but I believe one was a boy, Tonya, because I pick up on a blue blanket, and that's usually my symbol for boy. Things people go through here are far greater, and this is why we come here, because this is the learning stage of our life. This is our, we live here, we learn here, and then we go. Bubbly Beth, I was in a coma from childbirth. My daughter and I died. 8 hours later, the black went to gray and the beauty of the light and the voice who talked to me. I will never forget, but I can't describe it. And that's what it feels like. You cannot describe the absolute overwhelmingness of it all. And it's like you can remember everything. Some people say they can't remember, but I remember everything. A lot of people can remember everything. Why am I being told to go back to you, Bogey? I've had about three, if I can count four. Um, when you have a gift like this, um, you tend to have issues with um, your organs, so to speak, your gallbladder area, your being able to give birth to children. So you're very you're very subjective to a lot of loss when it comes to this. You've passed away from a pulmonary embolism. You've seen nothing but felt peace. Yeah, you had to come, and that's the thing about it. You have to understand we come back for a reason. We weren't given this job as mothers to be taken lightly. We were given this job because this is what we were meant to do. When we have children, we are meant to be these givers of life, and we're supposed to create a compassionate person, loving people. That's why when a man abuses a child, this is, don't take this as a sexist thing. When a man abuses a child, it's hard enough to see, but when a woman does it, we carry that child for 9 months, we give birth, we hold it, we feed it, we love it. When a woman does it, that's like the complete betrayal for me. I can't stomach people like that. Aggie, you are the best, my loves. You are always thinking of other people. Seeking serenity. When I had my sudden death widowmaker heart attack in 2015, I blacked out, was told I was gone for 4 minutes. And you know what? You can say you blacked out, but some people just don't recall because it could be out of fear, it could be out of anything really. It was just something maybe your mind couldn't have the capacity to understand at the moment because it happened so quickly. And there's different reasons for many different reasons for it. Patricia, I don't know who that is. Kelly T, well that's, I think that's the understanding of it. There's a reason why um you found that job. and the suffering is very hard from it. I have one of my dear friends was a social worker for almost 30 years, and I told her, I said, doing that job, I don't know how you stayed mentally okay, because it's so gut-wrenchingly painful to see a child suffer. I don't know how you did the job for that many years. She's like, I took my work home many, many, many years. Patricia Parker, 5-year-old boy with autism, mother beat him to death. Yeah, Kelly T, that's a definite, and that's the what gave me pause, and I stopped for a second, and I had to really hold in my tear for her, because when she said, "Can mommy come and walk me over, like take me over," and I just that really hit me. I always say to those who want to get into a career of helping, you have to really, really, really understand this is a selfless thing, but it's also mentally challenging for your soul. And we're not given these things lightly. You know what I mean? Someone has to be there for the children, because humanity is dying, and we're seeing more and more people hurt their children in ways that are so sadistic. I just don't understand what's happening, and how could you just take your child's life and go on like nothing happened. Well, let's try to have something on a more positive note for a half hour, because tonight's been uh, really, I don't want to say downing. I think we had a lot of high moments, a lot of great moments. So I always like to leave my lives positive. So we have a half hour more. So I'd like to do some, uh, yeah, bogey, absolutely. It's been like completely mad. The news, all you see is, I, I cannot fathom how you can remember your phone in your hand, but you can't remember your child in the back seat of a 90-degree car. That for me, that really f's up my brain. For me, that's a big, just that should just be your first priority. I can't. It's been an emotional life, really. We taken on a lot of. This is what the purpose of this live was. So, um, I am a Capricorn, so I'm very, and me being a Capricorn and understanding my zodiac sign, that's one thing you all can do, because Your zodiac sign will tell you a whole lot about yourself. Bogey, that's a great topic. Look up your zodiac sign. It will tell you so much about yourself. Capricorn, I gotta say, I have I have lone wolf syndrome, I call it. This is a horrible toxic trait. I'm not perfect. Like I said, I'm not perfect. But if I feel like I cannot trust you, I will shut you out and not even look back. Because for me, everything I do is based around trust. I have to trust you around my children. I have to trust you around me. I have to trust you around anything and all in my life. Growing up the way I did, not having a good life as a child, I've learned to keep an eye. It's like a constant circle of paying attention to people. You can learn a lot about people. And for me, trust is a big, big deal. If I can't trust you, I will not even look at you. I will not answer you. I will not acknowledge you. I do. I forgot to mention, I am so sorry. I have a friend, Johnny Hellard. He's on my Facebook. His girlfriend, Kendra, they have been battling. Johnny Hellard has been battling lung cancer. It has traveled to other parts of his body. He has a GoFundMe page. If anybody would like to donate, please go over to his girlfriend Kendra's page to the GoFundMe and donate. A lot of you know who that is on here, and if you don't, I will also post it up for you. I analyze from the eyes to the facial to the hands to the tone of your voice to the movements, everything. And that's just something I learned to do because as a small child, you have to know that you're in a safe place. You know what I mean? On a more positive note, for Sebastian Rogers at least, some things are turning out to be, you know, on, getting information, getting more connected to the case. So I'm really, really happy about that. That made my day to see people sending me something that really got out there. I think that our astrological signs speak a lot of volume about us. I definitely have trust issues with people, and I don't mean um I just mean if there's your energy screams out to me, I will not even give you the time of day. Um I'm very about loyalty, about family. It's the simplest things mean the biggest things to me. Everybody has their own thing about um their astrological sign. Do you guys have any more questions or should we move on to the next topic? We can take some health questions or we can do of course I was going to bring my cards, but guess who forgot them? Risa, you know exactly what I mean. Tonya, can I tell you about your husband's health? Let's see what I pull in. Now, when Risa, when we did, no, sorry, Risa, you're on my mind tonight, girl. Tonya, when we talk about asking me of telling me about your husband's health, the one thing that comes to mind directly, um, I am going to the stomach region. Um, Not sure why I'm being pulled to the stomach region. Uh, when we ask about health questions, I usually try to just the first thing that I'm pulled to about the energy, and that is the first thing that comes to mind. Now, when I say stomach region, the first thing that came to me was a male, and then I would say under the high rib cage area and down. Not sure what that means for you, your husband. Susie, can you tell me what's wrong with my feet and kinkles? Kinkles? Okay, let me go back to, hold on, everybody. Let me go back to um, when I was working with Tonya. So, Tonya, when I read somebody, I don't need to I don't need to be with them. I don't need to see who they are. I don't need to when you ask me something of your husband's health, so to speak. When I the first thing that I get is the first thing that I mention. So when you ask me about your husband's health, the first thing I get is the upper rib cage region to the stomach area. Not sure what that means. Let me see. Go back, go back, go back. How fast can energy shift in a case? Energy can shift anywhere from seconds to literally, it could just shift at any second. But you feel it. You feel it. Now, Tonya, when we talk about stomach area, um, there's something I have to word it in a way. Um, there's something that's not being taken care of, I guess, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Something that he's not doing on his part physically, or I don't know if that makes sense to you what I'm trying to say. But to you specifically, Dana, energy can shift very quickly in a case. Okay, Jesse. Okay. Jesse has been fighting for his life since Monday a week ago. See? Sarah, a butterfly kisses. My mom says she has been told she has the big C again. Can you tell me of what area this is, please? Butterfly kisses. I'm going to tell you what I'm picking up on. Um, when you say again, okay, picking up Cancer in one spot, but the second place is different. It's not the same place. If I'm getting that, if I'm understanding that correctly. She had breast cancer. Okay. But did it return in her breast or elsewhere? Ooh, wait a minute. I'm doing something here. I don't want to mess up anything. Jesse, give me one moment, honey. I'll get to that question. Not in her breast. Okay. That's what I'm asking you. So the first time was on her breast, but the second time it's elsewhere. Also, uh, Butterfly, can you tell me if you understand or know what this means? Um, do you understand kidneys? Is mom having issues with her kidneys? Also, the word um, pancreas comes to mind as well. I'm not sure if I'm being told pancreatic cancer or if it's like it went to the organ, specific organ. When they give me a specific organ, that usually tells me it went to, I don't want to say spread out, but it's kind of like going to a smaller organ. So this could be an ovary, but not both ovaries. This could be her pancreas. This could be something. It's very strange what I'm getting. Butterfly kisses. No, no what? Yellow Truth Seeker. Anne was a name that came up earlier today, but it came up under Bogey's name. So I'm not sure if that's a connection to you or to Bogey. Oh, Bogey, your grandma was Zelda Ann. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, so butterfly, because you can't tell me though if God, that's really unfortunate, honey. Cortisone spot in her lung, waiting to see if it spread anywhere else. Um, I'm not sure why kidney and pancreas came up. Kidneys came up first, but that doesn't mean there's cancer in her kidney. To me, something um, there's a reason. It could be something could affecting her kidneys specifically. But then I also heard pancreas completely quickly after that. So I'm not sure if it means it's in that way spreading to there or if it's meaning it's spreading to another organ. If that, do you understand? Okay, let me go in order here so I don't miss anybody. Jackie, do you feel like my son will stay in remission? That's a really hard question to answer because that's a subjective answer for me. Because if he's in remission, for me, it's a very hard thing because remission can go from day to day. It's very fleeting, day by day by day by day. Anything can trigger something. So for me, that question is really hard to answer. Um, to try harder is what I'm being told. So if your son's in remission, trying harder is something more so that he should really try to do. I know it's hard. Um, every day is a blessing, and every day a person's clean from alcohol or drugs is a beautiful day. Trying harder, though, tells me he's still in that vulnerable place. You have to be really careful. Okay. Um, Yellow. I heard. I feel like her spirit might be already crossed over. I'm just not sure what's going on. Gosh, that's harsh. My brother's grandma Anne is in hospice. I'm not sure what's going on. I family. Personally feel like it's going to be quick. Don't count out people in hospice. My sister-in-law was in hospice for a while, and she was unconscious for a while in hospice at home, and she hung on. The spirit has a way of hanging on when they really want to hang on. So, but letting go of someone is a process. It's day by day. You have to really prepare yourself for it and giving the understand at any point that um, their time is limited here when they're in hospice. So you really don't know, is it going to be today? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next week? It's their timing. Harley girl, I had breast cancer and now I have a spot in my lung, a spot in your lung. Watching it CT scan every 3 months. Um, hold on a minute. When did you get a second opinion on this, honey? For your CT scan? Did you go for another? Did you I'm asking because when I see this, I hear the word fill. This could be this could be um I'm not sure. It could be a scar tissue. It could be um for some reason I hear the word fill. Usually when I hear fill for a lung, that might be um something that's coming, a sickness, so to speak. And I don't mean cancer. I mean something that has to do with the lung capacity. Uh, it could be a scar on the lung. If you had COVID really bad, your lungs get scarred. I know mine are. I've had COVID severely, and it did something really bad to my lungs. You have to have you had a what is that scan called? My sister in law had to have it. A CT scan, but there's another form of scan that you should have. Talk to your doctor about it. They should they should really have that done. Um, that would tell you more than a CT scan. I don't know why they would give you a CT scan. A CT scan is good, but the scan I'm talking about, a PET scan, that's what it's called. Ask for a PET scan, specifically a PET scan, PET scan. That is really what you should be having. That PET scan will give you more in depth than over an MRI, than over a CT scan. A family member passed at the beginning of this year. I emailed you a photo of her and wondering if you received it. I don't know, Amanda. I don't think so. I think I would remember that. I have been so sick with iron 3 times high for a year. We only have one oncologist who deal with this here, and I have 400 referrals. Wow, I have trouble eating and profound surgery. Sweetie, I'm some of this I don't understand. Carrie German, I've been sick. I've been so sick with iron 3X. Excuse me, I don't understand what you mean. Iron deficiency or doctor said it's very aggressive if had grown from the size of a penis 7 months. Wow. That's terrible. I've noticed a lot of uptake in cancer. A lot of patients are going in with one thing and coming out with something else, and it's not anything that they would have ever expected. I mean, some is recurring, but at the same time, um, there are completely healthy people going in and coming out with like diagnosis of life or death. It's really hard and sad to imagine going in for one thing and coming out and feeling like your life is over. It's really hard, and I really feel for anybody and all that go through this. Ash Cash, I'm seeing a heart doctor now. I've been sweating. I can't even wear my makeup. I'm so weak. Have you had labs drawn? Have you um I'm just trying to see your messages prior to this. Did I miss your messages, honey? I'm so sorry. Um, where are you? I'm just trying to see if I missed anybody. Sorry, everybody. Trying to go back. Jennifer, will I ever have another brain aneurysm in the future? When you ask that question and I read that, was the, I don't know if I'm even going to make sense when I say this, but was the aneurysm on the left side of your head? I'm not sure. I don't really deal with aneurysms too much, but um, was it on the left side of your head, dear Jennifer? Jesse Lane has my cousin Josh crossed over after he committed suicide. You know uh, the whole in itself of if you commit suicide, you're damned to hell. That is not true. A lot of people think that people are damned here for eternity, and that's not true. I've spoken to several people from being crossed over that committed suicide, and God would not punish you for taking a life of your own when He knows you were suffering in the first place. God is supposed to be about love, not about torment and torture. And I believe that. I believe that God is love. Excuse me. Yeah, to all you guys that are going through things, we all care about you. We all send you healing. We all, everybody's going through something. We understand that here. Um, to the CT scans, I would really, being that prior to there was cancer, there should be PET scan automatically given to you because CAT scans are not usually a thing that should be used once a person has been diagnosed with cancer. A PET scan is one of the most reliable scans there is. I occasionally, Risa, I occasionally have knee pain. Is it serious? And my right arm is sore. Um, as I always say, everybody, I'm not a doctor. I always tell you to go get checked out first. Make sure you give these things to your doctor so that they understand what's going on with you specifically. Um, Depending on your age, Risa, uh, we all go through some sort of pain in the joint areas. Um, your right arm being sore could be uh, a blockage. Why that comes to me as a blockage, I'm not sure. An artery, but that could be just something that you should talk to your doctor about. Um, but at the same time, I don't think the blockage is now. To me, this would be something that would come later on by not having something checked. You know what I mean? Like a preventative thing. But like I said, I'm not a doctor. Do not follow my lead in anything. I am not a professional. I would tell you to have everything and anything looked at when you are not feeling well. You were just diagnosed with stage 4 COPD, plus I have stomach issues. Can you tell me what the stomach problem could be? Depending on the area of your stomach, um, what test have you got done on your stomach? And I'll ask you this because have you ever had an intestinal blockage? Yep, PET scan. Yep, it's called a PET scan, PET. You'd think it would have a different name though, right? Ren, that's why I don't go to the doctors. Their job is to find something wrong. Got that? I understand that. Okay, you are okay. 59. Okay. Would you do me a favor, Risa, and have that checked for me, please, or for yourself, not for me, but just in that general aspect. My grandmother and my uncle passed away of colon cancer very, very young, so I understand your worry. Um, the things that most people don't understand is a tumor now can be shrunk, it can be removed, it can be really, really in specific places, it can be removed with such ease. It's really um, the tumor you said, excuse me, Christy found. When you say you had tumors found, what was found to the left of you? What side of the body? Bogey, that's exactly true. God doesn't create suffering to create more suffering after life. It's not the way I've ever felt or seen anybody that's crossed over from suicide. Butterfly kisses my niece. Audrey's birthday is today. She's been gone for 5 years now. Can you get a message like that to her mom? Oh wow, it's 12:33. Oh yeah, yeah. I gotta shut this live down. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Now our next live. I'm trying to think of a timing. Today is Wednesday. Um, I have to do a members only live. Um, that's my next live. So I'm thinking of probably probably Saturday for members. Bogey, I'll see you there, darling. Amanda Stewart, you can always send them to my Facebook Messenger as well. I did see something here. I just want to go back to because I don't want to. I don't want to leave. Yeah, they have so much technology out now. Um, hmm, let's see. I just saw a message. I want to try to get something. Um, butterfly kisses. That's weird. Um, I don't know if I'm getting this because of you. What does pink butterflies mean? Is that for you or is that for her? Also, yeah, I wonder if this is for you. Gotta go down so I can see your message. I feel like I've been moody tonight. If I have I been in a low energy vibe to you tonight? I hope I haven't. It's just I've been overtired, overstimulated. Butterfly kisses, are you still on here, darling? Oh, hold on, hold on. Ash Cash, I heard your name being mentioned. Maybe something for her mom. Okay. Because excuse me, I'm tired. Pink butterfly, but also kiss. Yeah, I know, Amanda. I'm exhausted. I am. I don't mean to be moody tonight. I'm just tired. It's been a long day. Yeah, it was. It's just when I have to hold back emotion and keep it in, it actually makes me more energetically drained because I can't just I don't like to cry every time because I feel like it makes me feel and look weak. But at the same time, when dealing with a child, you have to be emotionally strong for them because they trust you to keep it together. And that's something I tried to be that her mother wasn't. And I don't tear people down, but I also know that this child is passed away because of that. And I wanted to be very, you had an ad. Can I repeat that? Oh, sure. Um, Thank you, Bogey. The one I need another endoscopy and biopsy. Small tested. Oh, intestinal blockage. See that? That's why I asked you that question that I asked you because I felt and found to the left also intestinal blockage. So it doesn't mean you have an intestinal blockage. No, it could be something that is causing a blockage and it just needs to be cleared. Oh, Tor, thank you. Your aneurysm was on the left side, Jen? Okay. I asked that because when you said that to me, the left side of my head, I saw this little speck, and that told me it was on the left side of your brain. But I also don't see anything else at this moment. No, it can be very subjective to have a question like that. But I also think um, it goes by the blood flow. It goes by the way our bodies are shifted when we are sick, when we are um, heavy anxiety. I'm being told, do you have heavy, Jennifer? Do you have heavy anxiety? You're welcome, man. Yes, bad. Okay. Honey, you got to try to calm your energy down because that, Vanessa, I have a friend request. Um, Try to calm yourself down some. I know that's rough in the time we're living in, but really have to work with your, um, you have to work towards trying to find balance for yourself. Not tonight, Lane. Oh, hold on a minute. Ginger Bell, what about the foot? Being told foot. Coming from my female side, foot. Waiting for your answer. Um, I'll miss Saturday due to my niece's wedding. See you next time. Also, did Greg pass by accident or take his own life? Oh, yeah, I'll sleep good. I'm hoping anyway. Let me go back to Tammy quickly. Also, did Greg pass by accident or take his own life? Accident or own life? Okay. Where are you, Tammy? Tammy, when I write down accident for you and own life, there's something that didn't add up it to be an accident, but I also heard own life. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You're welcome, Bogey. Really hope you find peace here. Sarah, you said not all people go to hell for suicide, right? That's not what I said at all, honey. Um, what I said is when there is when there's talk about suicide and going to hell, I've spoken to many people that have committed suicide and they don't speak about hell at all, of a place hell. I see them in a light. I see them crossed over. I think that a lot of things that are stated, I do think some of that is just a version of making people feel fearful. You know what I mean? And if you are already suffering, God doesn't want you to suffer anymore. I don't think that He's going to damn you to hell. People are fearful for their family members to know that that happens. Um, I don't think so, Jennifer. I just do feel that you need to practice a form of really, really balancing your energy, honey. Children are a really hard aspect for me. I see a child suffer. I just, the pain that and the sorrow I feel for them is so immense. Tammy, when you ask that, I'm not sure what bike comes to mind for. Bike, Bike. Um, also, Tammy, I was also told took a while to understand. Left. Not sure what bike means. Bike can mean just in itself. Is it? Did he have a bike? Did he have, or did he get into an accident with a bike? Anything that represents travel, so to speak. Sometimes they just don't mention it in the way you're supposed to hear it. You're welcome, Christy. Aggie, it's been a really emotional few days. Really emotional. I think it's the energy shift. It's okay to miss your dad and it's okay to cry because the memories that you have of him, you cherish them. It's really hard. Not everybody can grieve in the same way. We never have closure. We just one day at a time, you know? Take one day at a time. Got into an accident. got out of his car on a highway, crossed the road, and was hit by two semis. And that's what I think. Um, that's why I think it made you question the accident because you feel it was intentional. Do you? Okay, that makes sense because I couldn't understand the difference between the two because accident, and then I see this line like it was kind of I need it was like a long line after accident, which left me blank, confusion. Then I realized own life. If you deactivated your Amanda, if you deactivated your Facebook, it doesn't matter. Your Messenger will still work. Deleting your Facebook, you don't have a Messenger, but if you deactivated it, it's fine. Tammy, just because if you don't hear from him, just pay attention to signs. Perfect example. I took a picture of the girls in front because we put our tree up already because my granddaughters don't live in where I live anymore. So I wanted them to be able to do that ahead of time because that was our tradition. I took a picture, snapped a picture, and my little granddaughter Dream, over her face is my couldn't figure out at first. I'm like, who is that? My nephew passed away at a very young age, right before his 8th birthday. He died of cancer. And he's in the picture. And I'm like, oh my God, it's 20 years later. But he still shows me himself as the little boy he was. So, no, if I tell you my age, you're not going to believe it. Um, but he's in the picture. His twin brother is in his 20s. So he died years and years ago. He showed me himself at the age of 7. And he resembles my granddaughter with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. So I'm wondering if, you know, who she is. Did she come back as her from his life? Okay, everybody. No, that doesn't mean he's upset with you, Tammy. It's just some people just they don't understand how small. Okay, perfect example, Tammy. Have you done a symbol library yet? Have you done a symbol library in a book? No, you're talking about him tonight. I want you to go into your symbol library if you haven't made one, put his name down, a day of the week, a symbol so straightforward that you cannot misunderstand this symbol. If it has to do with the accident, I want to see a red car on this day, a very specific car. So specific that you cannot mistake this as a mistake. I want to see a red Buick. I want to see a red such and such. Why Buick came to mind, I don't know. But be so specific and just let it go. Forget it's there. And then I've seen so many people on here tonight tell me my symbol library worked. It worked. I want you to try it. Okay. Um, Bogey, I kind of don't think we get that choice. Um, I think we come here to learn, to learn, to learn. It's just like going to school, going to school, going to school. We don't see it as a punishment. We just come back and we come back and we come back till we've mastered. We are learning beings, we are learning energies. Try that, Tammy, and get back to me. But what I mean, be so specific, day of the week that you want to see a symbol from him, only from him. Don't use it for anybody else. Think about what triggers your thought of him. You're going to think of, and don't think of it as a negative way. Think of it as, I know this is him if I see why a red Buick comes to mind. I don't know. In this life, you haven't, but maybe you've had plenty of children in your past life, honey. So it might just be, you had all your children in your last life. In this life, you wanted something different. We learned from our last life, and now we're here with something else. Oh, give it a try. Give it a try. You're gonna be very surprised at what you get. Like I said, for those who don't know what a symbol library is, each person that is passed on that meant something to you with love, put their name down, put the day of the week that you want to see that symbol, be very specific. Be so specific that you cannot mess the symbol up. Oh, that's just in my head. No, you wrote it down on paper. The idea of it is it's so specific that spirit talks to you in a way that you're going to understand it's them through symbolization. Remember, they don't have a mouth anymore. They can't just tell you what they want. They can't just, hey, you're going to see me on Tuesday. I'm going to be that pink flower that's blowing on the sidewalk. I'm going to be that feather. No, you be very specific on what you want, who you want it for, what day of the week. Then you're just going to let it go. You're going to let that work week go through, and then you're going to see what comes through for the week. And then you're just going to keep doing it until you see it. And then you're going to realize you're going to see it more and more and more and more. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I hope the best for everybody tonight. I'm a little, I don't know, I feel like I'm moody tonight. I don't feel my cheery self tonight. Usually when my vibrations are low like that, it's been, I don't know, the energy's been really off this week. I've been moody, I've been tired, I've been emotional. So it's just I'm not my usual self this week. But with change, everything changes. Everything your day-to-day life, you can't be in a perfect mood all the time. You just have to try your best. Okay, let me know, Tammy. You can text me, you can message me. Definitely let me know. Sarah Bear, no. I will tell you they have to do with the matrix. My husband and I went to the bank, and we had we had stopped at the stop sign in front of the bank, and here comes this elderly lady out of the bank, short lady, greenish coat, little bob hat, and she's a tiny little fragile thing. She walks past me and my husband, and we're in our vehicle, so we're at the stop sign. We park, and we park literally right there in front of the bank. There was a parking spot so close. And then he comes out a few minutes later. I'm very aware of my surroundings when I'm out. I pay attention to everything. So what happens? He comes back out from the bank, from the deposit, and we back up. And There's women again doing the same exact thing. When the matrix slips up like that, people are so busy and they're so just everywhere else in their brain. People don't realize the matrix slips up all the time. It does it all the time. And for you to catch it, that's when you really know you're about that paying attention skill. My sister and I, we got back from a paranormal investigation. She's getting her bag out of the back of my truck. And I just happened to go look up, and this is going to sound insane. I see a bird in the sky, but the wings aren't moving. It's just stuck there. And I'm like, and I yelled to my sister, I said, "What's going on there? What's going on there? That bird ain't moving, but it's in flight mode and it's not moving." And I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to go home now and I'm going to get some rest. I'll see you in a couple days. But we take it in like that. We don't make it a big deal. We don't catastrophize. We don't make it a big, huge thing. We just accept it, and that's a lot of people don't do that. You don't just accept the unknown because it's so natural. It happens every day, all day. If you understood that, you would be very more open with it. It's more of a understanding that you're just a living, breathing entity that is here. And there's so much of around you that exists. You just have no idea how much. Okay, my darlings, I will see you. I am going to be on probably Saturday with my members. I will see you there, members, and we will do our card pull. We will be doing private readings for whoever is there. Uh, I will pick at least 2 to 3 people for our private readings, which is, and then we will, if we have time, we can talk about other things as well. I always teach somebody a new aspect of spirituality, how to read auras, how to meditate, shift your energy in and out. It's a very different thing there. So definitely, uh, I will definitely see you all. I will definitely see my members this Saturday. Tammy, Tammy, you never know. Uh, you're welcome. I will see you members Saturday. I will see you guys probably Tuesday for a live open discussion cases. Um, I'm not sure open discussion. I don't usually plan them out. I just let them come to me as who comes to me in that way. I mean, if you guys want to have a specific discussion about a specific case, just let me know and we can get on the topic of that. Okay? We don't have to hop all over. I hop all over because of the reason why energy just shifts that way. I can either close it off to one unless they say we have to change. Okay? All right, everybody. I will see my members Saturday, 9 p.m. Okay? Thank you, everybody who joined. I will see you this Saturday and next Tuesday. Have a great night, everybody. Watch your six.